This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Thursday, the 14th day of August in the year 2025. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here is what we're tracking tonight. Vice President Jagdeo today dismissed allegations by gold dealer Junior Bashk of alleged corrupt acts involving senior government officials and their alleged involvement in illegal gold dealings and bribe payments as nothing more than a rumor. He said the accusations are false and told reporters that the gold dealer has since stated that he has apologized to the president and the president's mother over the allegations he made in an interview.
So let me make it clear at this stage. The man who did the interview said clearly, I've never paid the president or anyone else any money. 2, I never paid the president's mom any money. This is what I heard somebody say. That should be the end of the matter, because there's no evidence whatsoever that any money was paid. This is just another rumor that is being perpetrated by the Mohameds to muddy the water so people don't look at their dirty dealings. And that is why when they released it at this time.
In the interview, which was done back in March by journalist Travis Chase, the gold dealer and businessman spoke about being told by one of his business partners of having to make payments to senior government officials. He said the business partner referred to the vice president as among those officials. Today, Mr. Jagdeo said the allegations lack credibility. He said the allegations all appear like a political hit against his party's leadership as it heads into the September elections. On the issue of the claims of gold being smuggled into Guyana from Venezuela, the vice president said that matter should be probed.
I think these matters have to be investigated. I think they would be investigated, but we're 2 weeks away from the elections, and the other party likes to play the victim and enabled by some mainstream media.
Since the release of the gold dealer's interview on the social media page of activist Melissa Atwell, at least 2 other billionaire businessmen have threatened legal action over statements made in the interview by the gold dealer Junior Bashk about their alleged involvement in corrupt activities. More news coming up in just a moment.
Your own home is so much more than just 4 walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Join us for the International Building Expo 2025 at the Guyana National Stadium, Providence. From August 14th through the 17th, you can explore the latest in building and construction, get tips from the experts, and network with top professionals. But it's also a weekend of clean family entertainment. We have live bands and local artists performing each night. Admission is easy on the wallet. Kids under 12 are free and adults are only $500. The grand opening happens Thursday, August 14th at 5 p.m. Gates are open from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., Friday through Sunday. Bring the entire family to the International Building Expo 2025 and build some memories together.
Miss Shirley, help me out now, please. Why everyone telling me I must exercise my right to vote? Need that time for that? Why must I vote?
Why must you vote? That is your constitutional right and civic duty, my child. Besides, think about this. Government officials make decisions that affect the well-being of you, your family, and community. By voting for a party of your choice, you will be electing the people who will be making these very important decisions. If you don't vote, then you will allow the people who vote to choose government officials without your input. Those others may not share your views about issues that matter to you.
Wait. Is so much voting means to me? And I the playing the fool? I definitely gonna vote on election day.
For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-02779 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
With just 2 weeks to go before the elections are held, presidential candidate for the APNU, Aubrey Norton, is again casting doubt on the Guyana Elections Commission and its ability to conduct the elections in a free, fair, and transparent manner. Appearing on a radio program on Light FM, Mr. Norton raised concern over GECOM's polling day staff, as well as returning officers.
Well, we made it clear that we don't think people should be allowed to take cell phones into the polling booth. We made it clear that as far as we're concerned, the PPP is seeking to rig these elections. The returning officers and poll day workers that they would have chosen, a good 90% of them are known PPP people, and therefore there is no scope for the Elections Commission to operate in a professional manner.
The Guyana Elections Commission has released its official manual for polling day staff on its website. The manual outlines the responsibilities of presiding officers for Elections Day and sets out how those officers must conduct themselves to ensure that every vote counts. In the manual, the chairman of the Elections Commission explained that extensive training has been conducted for the Election Day staff. But Mr. Norton is of the view that GECOM has long been operating in bad faith.
And even before that, you have the situation where the chairman of the Elections Commission would have been voting with the PPP regardless of the nature of the issue, which is also indicative of the fact that you won't have independent institution to oversee the elections. We have made it very clear that any attempt to rig these elections will have serious consequences, and that the government must understand that whatever occurs, they are responsible for it, because they refuse to be reasonable, they refuse to give biometrics, they refuse to have a clean voters list.
Norton has already announced that his party will have polling day agents in all of the polling stations. Vice President and PP General Secretary Barra Jagdeo today challenged the Mohamed family to deny that the elder Mohamed, businessman Nazar Mohamed, visited the Venezuelan embassy to apply for a Venezuelan visa. Nazar Mohamed is the father of Wind Party leader and presidential candidate Azruddin Mohamed. The two Mohameds and their businesses remain under U.S. government sanctions over claims of tax evasion and gold on the declaration. Betting his political career, Mr. Jagdeo clarified that it was the elder Mohamed who visited the Venezuelan embassy, which he described as suspicious following a claim from a U.S. congressman about the son, presidential candidate Azruddin Mohamed, having ties to the Venezuelan government. While Foreign Minister Hugh Todd earlier this week stated that the Mohameds had made frequent visits to the embassy, forcing him to summon the Venezuelan ambassador, Mr. Jagdeo said it was the elder Mohamed, but questions should still be asked.
And so, when the father visits the Venezuelan embassy, he's a member of this family. Don't tell me that Azruddin Mohamed doesn't know about it, or the daughter, the active one on social media, doesn't know about it. They all know that he did visit the embassy, and they know the purpose.
Presidential candidate Azruddin Mohamed has stated that he has never visited the Venezuelan embassy and has not made any application for a Venezuelan visa. He has dismissed the government's concern as purely political. But Vice President Jagdeo said the matter must be treated seriously and taken seriously, adding that he also believes the elder Mohamed should be questioned by the authorities about the visit.
But since it surfaced that the father went to the embassy and they have gone silent. So they need now, before I finish this press conference, they can easily come out and put out another statement that they're prone to do all the time, denying that too. That Nazar Mohammed did not visit the embassy and did not seek what they claim was a visa there. They can do that now. Prove me a liar now.
Noting the government's concerns about links to Venezuela, Mr. Jagdeo was questioned about whether the U.S. government has provided any evidence linking the Mohameds to the Maduro regime outside of the tweet a few months back from 2 U.S. congressional representatives.
And I'm willing to stake my entire political career on the fact that he did go to the Venezuelan embassy. I'm willing to stake my entire political career, because they often say the PPP lies on this matter.
Jagdeo said Mohameds need to answer now, and he's hoping they do so. He said the Guyana government's concerns should not be seen as cheap political rhetoric in an election season.
Putting people first.
My leadership is people-centered. The whole purpose of this campaign is for us to have people-centered development policies. And when we say people-centered development, we mean that we've been on the ground, we've been speaking to you, and we know the issues that are affecting you. And some of the things that are simple and look very minute on the coastline are major issues in the hinterland. And we intend to make sure things like health care is looked after. I'm going to give you an example. We were in the Upper Mazaruni, and one of the things we learned there is that the midwives are delivering babies with a torchlight in 2025 with a budget of over $1 trillion. These are things that should not be, because we have the money that can fix these things. We intend to look at the structure and the issues that are affecting the delivery of items into these communities when it comes to healthcare.
Vote APNU, putting people first.
Your own home is so much more than just 4 walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Monday, September 1, 2025 is Election Day. At the general election, electors will vote to elect the President and 65 members of the National Assembly. And at the regional election, electors will vote to elect members of the 10 regional democratic councils. Check the official list of electors that is being displayed at 2 prominent places in your area to ensure that you are correctly listed. It is your constitutional right and your civic duty to vote at the upcoming general and regional elections, providing you are listed in the official list of electors. Vote early on Election Day. For more information, contact the GECOM on 2250-27729 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
Washi. Hi people. Washing made so easy since I found Washi. Washing me use wash me clothes and I can say Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder leave me clothes smelling nice, of course. So give thanks to Washi soap powder for doing my laundry right. Keep my clothes color bright, have my clothes smelling nice for sure. I could not ask for more. Comes in lemon and original. It is a washing machine in a pack. Wash your soap powder, wash clothes so nice. Wash your soap powder, leave your clothes color bright. Wash your soap powder, have my clothes smelling nice, of course.
Distributors located in the Stabrook Market.
How to vote. Having been identified as the voter you claim to be, you will be given a ballot paper that is stamped at the back on the top section as well as the bottom section in your presence. On the ballot paper, provision is made for you to vote twice. Once at the top section where you vote for the general election and once at the bottom section where you vote for the regional election. Look for the name and symbol of the party of your choice in the top section of the ballot paper and mark your X in the empty box next to the party symbol. Then look for the name and symbol of the party of your choice in the bottom section and mark your X in the empty box next to the party's symbol. After you have voted, fold the ballot paper as shown by the election official, dip the first joint of your right index finger in the ink provided, then place the ballot paper in the ballot box. You will then have to peacefully depart the polling station. For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-02779 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
The Warramuri Secondary School in Region 1 was commissioned on Wednesday, with the government seeing it as an example of closing the gap with the education offerings in the hinterland and the coast. The school was designed to accommodate close to 400 children from Warramuri and neighboring villages in Region 1. President Irfan Ali at the commissioning noted the investments that have been made by the government in the education sector. He said with a plan to expose hinterland students to various fields of education, more science laboratories will be added to secondary schools in the hinterland areas.
Because we believe that secondary education is not only another tier of education, but secondary education is about preparing you for the journey of life. It is about that important step that gives you the opportunity to realize your true and full potential. So today, whether you want to be a trained teacher, a doctor, a nurse, a pharmacist, an engineer, an agriculturalist, a technician, whatever you want to be, you know that this government will invest so you can achieve it right here in Region 1, right here in your community.
Noting the need for ongoing investment in education, President Ali said the investment is now taking place at every level in the education sector.
And that is why today our education system is not only catering for our children, but giving our teenagers, giving our young people, and giving every segment of our population an opportunity to be educated regardless of your age and to contribute to the development of our country. And that is important. We're investing in technical education. We're investing in remedial education. We're investing in education to improve your efficiency in your business. That is the development of women entrepreneurs. We're investing in financial education. We're investing so that we can have a more efficient population that can enjoy the full fruits of their labor.
Meanwhile, Minister of Education Priya Manak Chan said access to quality education continues to be a focus of the government, while also addressing the infrastructural needs of educational institutions.
We have built over the last 3.5 years in this country 6 to 7 nursery schools across Guyana. 6 to 7 nursery schools. We've built 4 to 5 primary schools, and we have built or are building 4 to 2 secondary schools. That's why Carolyn told you she couldn't keep up with the numbers. Right here in Region 1, we have built 7 nursery schools, 16 primary schools, and we have built or are building 6 secondary schools right here in Region 1. That's the access we talk about.
Hosororo Secondary, Cubana Secondary, and Matthews Ridge Secondary are among the secondary schools currently under construction. With the construction of those schools, the education minister said children will be able to pursue their secondary education right at home in Region 1 and not have to travel to the city for quality education. She also announced that more teachers are being trained to meet the expansion of secondary education.
In the history of Guyana, we have only ever been able to train 1,500 teachers. We're not only training more teachers, we had 7,000 teachers when we came into office in 2020, just over 7,000. We now have just under 15,000 teachers in 2025. So we have more teachers and we have better trained and more trained teachers, which will bring in a higher quality education for your children.
Minister Manak Chan said more than 80% of teachers in the hinterland region are now trained and new teachers are being recruited to fill the gap. On the campaign trail tonight, with Guyana still facing aggression from neighboring Venezuela with its claims of Guyana's Essequibo region, President Irfan Ali believes that his party, the People's Progressive Party, is Guyana's best option to secure Guyana's territorial integrity. At a public meeting in Alexander Village last night, the president said in a complex global environment, his party is best suited to safeguard Guyana.
We live in a complex global environment. We live in a very complex global environment. And the first thing that we have to understand is that our sovereignty and national security is important. When you vote on September the 1st, you are voting for a trusted international partner in this government to take care of our sovereignty and national security.
2 years ago, the president met and held talks with the Venezuelan president, Nicolas Maduro, agreeing to an accord that prioritized peace in the region and respect. But since then, Venezuela has continued with its threats and acts of aggression, even positioning its Navy vessels near the oil ship in Guyana's waters and questioning the captains about those vessels and their presence a few months ago. But President Ali told a meeting in Alexander Village that his government's leadership is second to none on a range of international issues. He said the strategic partnerships that the country has been able to form to keep it safe remains one of the hallmarks of his administration's achievements.
Never before in the history of this country have we formed so many strategic security partnership and alliance to defend our sovereignty and our national security interests. We have alliance with France. We have alliance with every single CARICOM state. We are now a member of the RSS, the regional security system. We have alliance with Colombia. We have alliance with the United States, with Canada, with UK, with the Middle East, with India. We have been able to form the most inclusive, broad-based security partnership for Guyana in the last 5 years.
The president also said his re-election would ensure the renewal and expansion of international partnerships and the country's safety. He said there are also plans to improve port security and formulate a system to fight drug trafficking and other illegal activities with the country's international partners.
You are voting to ensure that that integrated partnership is formulated to make Guyana safe, to keep our borders safe, and to ensure that our country is leading on the security front.
President Ali told those gathered that there has never been a time in history when one country is being presented with so many opportunities like Guyana. In the courts right now, a security guard who was attached to the KGM security company was charged for murder and remanded to jail today over the shooting death of a Cuban national, Pedro Slonchak. Appearing at the Georgetown Magistrates Court before Magistrate Fabio Azor, security guard Kelvin Belgrave was not required to enter a plea to the indictable murder charge. He was remanded to jail until the 17th of September, when the matter will continue. The shooting incident took place on Sunday morning at the Real Value supermarket on Church Street here in Georgetown. According to reports, a security guard approached the Cuban national to question him about repeatedly entering and leaving the supermarket. The security guard, according to the police, told investigators that he was attacked by the man with a knife when he attempted to question him. The security guard claimed that he was able to wrestle the knife away from the Cuban man and used it to stab him before drawing his firearm and shooting the man 4 times to the body after stabbing him. The Cuban man collapsed and died at the scene. The supermarket was immediately closed off for the day as investigators were called in to probe the shooting incident. Officials from the security company were spotted at the scene as the investigations were conducted on Sunday.
We ready, time to remove the curse.
The APNU Coalition campaign now moves to Region 3. Read and Hoop on Friday, August 15 from 5 p.m. Come hear from our candidates. Come hear about our people-centered development strategy that puts people first. Come hear from our Prime Ministerial candidate, Jurita Fernandez, our presidential candidate, Aubrey C. Norton, and others on Friday, August 15 from 5 p.m. Read and Hoop will vibrate with a people-powered campaign. APNU, putting people first.
We ready, time to remove the curse.
Turbo with a new look, new style, with the same great taste in the 250 ml can. Everybody run out now. Go grab one. Me charge up with a turbo 250 ml at your favorite spot. Wait sell. New look, new can, same vibes. Jinxing, energize up your life. Vibes up, work time, anytime we are turn up the party with turbo can. Turbo can, turbo can, turbo can. Now available in the new 250 ml can. Turbo energy drink. Charge up today.
What's going on here, man? Why the two of y'all look so gloomy?
Uncle Joe, you know thief man been in we house and thief all we valuables, including the ID card. Now election come around and we want to go vote. We ain't get no ID card to identify ourselves. Now we can't go vote.
Well, you need to apply to GECOM to have your ID cards replaced. But you need not worry that you won't be able to vote because you don't have your ID cards. GECOM has put other measures in place to accurately identify voters like you who may not have your ID cards.
But how they gonna do that? How they gonna know is we name on the list if we don't have ID to prove it?
In addition to your ID card, voters can present their valid passports or valid driver's license if they have these.
Really?
But further, GECOM has placed your photograph alongside your name on a folio which will be at the polling station. And if you go to the polling station without a photo ID, you will be asked to state your name and address. The elections official will look at your face and then compare it with the photo alongside your name on the folio to confirm that they are the same. Then you'll have to answer some questions to verify your identity. If the election official is satisfied that you are the person who you claim to be, you will be allowed to vote after taking an oath of identity.
So you get to vote?
For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-02779 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyana is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyana's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyana has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
Across the region tonight, CARICOM's nursing body has expressed concern over the shortage of nurses in the region, caused mainly by migration to wealthier countries to take advantage of better pay and benefits, which ultimately would affect the quality of healthcare in the region. A CARICOM statement said the issues of the critical shortage of nurses in the region and the resulting impact on the health sector of CARICOM member states are major concerns of policymakers and the regional nursing body, the RNB. Those issues were the common thread of speakers at the 52nd Annual General Meeting of the regional nursing body, which was held in Barbados earlier this week. Discussion centered on the anticipated increase in the need for nurses and midwives and the need for guidance and action to mitigate the impact of the shortage. Agenda items for the meeting included developing an action plan to address the migration and mobility of health workers in the region, a review of the state of the World Nursing Report, new developments in nursing, and the results of the April 2025 sitting of the regional examination for nurse registration. The Minister of Health and Wellness of Barbados, Dr. Jerome Walcott, who delivered the feature address, lauded the achievements of the regional nursing body and called on the body to lead the transformation of the nursing profession across CARICOM. Now to Bolivia. As Bolivians prepare to vote in a general election, the country's deep economic woes are the central issue. The BBC reports that whoever becomes the nation's next president faces a very difficult job to try to sort out the mess. El Alto is Bolivia's second largest city, which is home to 1.2 million people. And at an elevation of 13,615 feet, it is the world's highest city, with a population of more than 100,000. The BBC says it's full of narrow streets with vendors trying to sell you everything. One vendor describes how Bolivia's sky-high inflation is affecting him and his family. The annual inflation rate soared to 24% in June, and he said prices for everything are going up, and that is a major issue as the Bolivians get ready to vote. Bolivia's inflation spike has been caused by a combination of factors. Falling natural gas production and therefore exports of the key foreign earner has led to a decline in overseas revenues, the BBC reports. And finally tonight, international news. U.S. First Lady Melania Trump has threatened to sue Hunter Biden, the son of former President Joe Biden, for more than $1 billion after he said she was introduced to her husband by sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Lawyers acting on behalf of the U.S. First Lady, who married President Donald Trump in 2005, described his claim as false, disparaging, defamatory, and inflammatory. Biden, the son of former U.S. President Joe Biden, made the comments during an interview earlier this month. He defended those comments on Thursday and did not seem willing to back down in the face of the lawsuit threat. The U.S. president said he was a friend of Epstein, but said that they fell out in the early 2000s because the financier poached employees from his spa at the Trump Florida Golf Club. A letter from the First Lady's lawyers and addressed to an attorney for Hunter Biden demands he retract the claim and apologize or face legal action for over $1 billion in damages. It says the First Lady has suffered overwhelming financial and reputational harm because of the claim that was made. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and encouraging you to have a safe and enjoyable night.